Here is a 2024 BMW M4 competition in Islands of Man green over Silverstone and black leather. This is the convertible, so it's not going to be as athletic in the weight distribution as the coupe, but you're still getting the increased horsepower and torque. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and the front is getting the adaptive Icon LED headlights and daytime runnings with BMW laser. Around 4.5 inches of clearance. The gloss black elements is going to be all around the vehicle. The lower splitters, the side skirts, and the rear bumper trim. You can option the carbon fiber exterior package, which will change that to carbon fiber. The kidney grille gets all gloss black, and I like the styling between the gloss black and the Islands of Man green because it just gives a little bit more of a striking stance to it, especially with these gloss black staggered wheels. 19-inch in the front, multi-spoke. The rear is a 20-inch. Red brake calipers housing 6 pistons in the front. 2-piece rotor that's slotted and ventilated for performance. This is track ready right now. Underneath the hood, 3.0 liter BMW M-Powered Turbo, which is a twin turbo inline 6-cylinder. 30 more horsepower than the standard M4 at 503 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque paired to the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. And that will reach 60 at 3.6 seconds, achieving 16 mpgs for the city and 23 mpgs for the highway, 155 miles per hour without these Michelin Sport 4S. With them, 174 miles per hour. This has more performance than the RS5 Sportback Audi, and when you're optioning it near fully loaded, it's going to be right at the same price. You can option a competition for the RS5 Sportback, but you're not increasing any performance. This, you will be increasing your horsepower and torque. And comparing it to Mercedes AMG C63, it's going to be a carryover trim for the convertible, so you're not going to have the dynamic style as the refresh exterior of the Benz. Even though it has more horsepower, this is still going to put every vehicle in its place. And like I'm saying, track worthy, daily driven. Look at the rear with the quad exhaust tips. Very aggressive exit, front and rear parking sensors, 360-degree reverse camera, LED taillights. It's ticking the box for everything you need on the daily use, but wait till you see the drive for that track use. Quick release to go into around 10 cubic feet of storage. It does have a little storage nook, and you can fold this when the top's up, so it's more deep. Split fold the whole bench in the back, and that will increase cargo to maybe a 40-inch TV if you're buying it on the weekend, going for your cruise with the top down. But this is a twin turbo inline 6. Let's go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust. Way power seat adjustment, heated, ventilated neck warmers, M4 badging, manual cushion extension for the front occupants with memory for the driver. Headroom, it's not going to be an issue, and it's a convertible, which is my favorite variants. Leg space is also good for this sports car. For 2024, we get the new iX screen or BMW one-panel curve. It's a 14.9-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Put it into reverse, 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory with automatic parking, backup assist, 3D view, which you can use gesture control or go all around or even touch. Camera for the car wash, so you get trajectory in the front, going into the reworked air vents, satin aluminum and carbon fiber inlays. Harman Kardon is going to be on the door panels, and a heads-up display with the 12.3 gauge cluster that you can configure as well with different content. This does not have the AR, which would show the camera in the front. Leather wrapped steering wheel, M-spec with the carbon fiber, heated, multi-function, M1 and M2 in the front, carbon fiber paddle shifters, going into a wireless charging pad and the key fob for the new M4 competition. USB 12 volt and the carbon fiber and satin aluminum and ambient lighting is going to surround the whole cabin. iDrive 8, which is also touch sensitive here. Driver mode select that you can click onto the fly, and you can also tailor this for the M1 and M2 on that. Active exhaust note, open up, and it's a long storage pocket with a USB. It's going to be more sporty, and the door panels will have a more sporty feel for where you're resting your arms, one touch up and down for the windows, and a pretty long storage pocket with the beverage holder in the front. Going into the back, it will electronically move forward. I have the top up so we could check that headroom, and it's going to be a little bit tight, but it's still doable for somebody that's 6'3", even with the top up. With it down, it's going to be obviously no problems. Cup holders in the center, third climate control setting, no storage behind any of the front seats, but a storage pocket right here on the side. If I was to put this back, it's going to basically hit my knees. This bulges out so I could use this as an armrest because I'm tall, and you can see what I mean by it's going to hit my knees and it'll actually adjust forward. So that way me and the driver can more or less sit inside the M4 with the top up. 503 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque, 63.6 seconds. We got the top down so you can hear it. I could definitely see this being a very playful, fun, daily driven vehicle. Near 50-50 weight distribution, even being a convertible, so look at that. Wow, it's ticking a lot of boxes, putting a nice smile on my face. I like the new heads-up display layout, and even the gauge cluster and the infotainment screen combined. I think it just makes it look a little bit more elegant than the prior gen, even though this is still more or less on the same gen. I like that you get the increased horsepower because when you're buying an M4, you're really wanting to get as much performance as possible. And then if you want, take it to a motorsport, so that way you can just even further that performance numbers. It's already track worthy at 3.6 seconds, and this is a convertible, which is insane because there's not a lot of convertibles that do this kind of speed under a six-figure price point. And you can also fold the top up while you're driving. And when you're considering this is a fast vehicle, just think about that doing it on the track. You're folding it up before you're getting ready to do your lap. You can do that with the M4 Comp. That's going to take me to some pros and cons, and starting off with is the pros about the M4 competition. The setup that they have implemented in all the BMWs, they really did think about it before they changed it and put it in the iX, which was the first vehicle that derived this screen layout, in which it still looks sporty and you still have the carbon fiber essence that come into the vehicle to express how much performance you really get out of this car. It is one of the best in class considering the price and all of what you get. I mean, look at this thing. Large paddle shifters with the carbon fiber. I'm liking a lot of things about this. The steering wheel has a good grip to it. Definitely a blend of performance that goes to the next level, and you're not going too excessive when you're looking at what you're getting. Going to some cons, they still haven't addressed where you have to fold that little cargo thing out in the trunk to put the top down. So if you are driving and you're on a pinch and you want to put the top down and you forgot to do it, you still have to pull over to open up the cargo and pull that little tray out so you can fold the cargo top in. This is just regular mode. So on an everyday, I mean, I would just leave the active exhaust note so that way it filters out any of the road noise. It's going to be more agile. You do feel lower to the ground. The door panels are raised up well enough so it feels a lot more of a sports car than a luxury car, and that's why I like this particular blend so much, because if you go up to the M8 competition, you're talking $50,000 to $70,000 more in price. You're getting near same 0 to 60s. Yes, the horsepower and torque is going to be more, and it's going to be more luxurious. You'll also have a longer hood and a longer overhang, but This one looks more aggressive and going to comparable rivals, Audi or Mercedes. This is going to be faster than the Audi, and you can't even option a convertible that would be comparable to this. When you go into the bins, it's going to be the same thing because it's going to have a carryover on the exterior for 2023, leaving this to be one of the best in values, especially if you don't necessarily option it fully loaded. You're going to get it around the $80,000 price point. And when you're considering the 30 horsepower increase, it may not be such an increase from the 0 to 60 because both of them are still going to be under 4 seconds. It's just giving you that extra power and making it more aggressive. So I do like that BMW has done that. And 100% of power will go to the rear wheels when you floor it for the xDrive all-wheel drive system. You cannot option this with a manual to get this much horsepower. That's another con, because I like to be a little bit engaged. For me, it's a no-brainer because I'm personally looking for this type of vehicle to purchase myself, but I'm not going to be biased about it because they do have some negativity in the sense of when you're driving it as an everyday car instead of a second or third car, meaning a weekend car, it's going to feel a lot more aggressive in the sense of you're going to feel every imperfection in the road. These are staggered wheels, so you can't do alignment either, in which when you're giving it that gas, you're going to be burning through some rubber. And because this is all-wheel drive, you would want to change all 4 wheels at the same time so you're not hurting the transmission. The way you sit in the M4, it's going to be a little bit more usable for a tall person, meaning over 6 foot, because of the way the windscreen kind of ovals. When you start going into the M8, it is a little bit more flush and not as oval. The A-pillars are kind of more of an eyesore. Here they're chunky, but they're pushed back, so you don't really lose any visibility. Because it's convertible, even in the coupe, you're still going to have some blind spots, but you have 503 horsepower, or what I like to say, enough reasons to push the gas if you really need to get in front of somebody. The back seat, people complain about it quite a bit, but it still is usable. It's not going to be as accessible for taller people. If you need to do it on a pinch, it is something that works. I would recommend getting the neck warmers if you're living in a colder environment. In Florida, you just really need the ventilated seats. It ticks the box for everyday use in a performance variant, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank BMW of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2024 BMW M4 competition for our car review.